everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 20 on EA Sports. We are moments away from what should be an excellent matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and the Houston Oilers. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, much appreciated, Coach, as we welcome all of you to our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Minnesota Vikings and the Houston Oilers. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, you take a look at our home side as we enter play here. They come in the midst of a pretty bad stretch here. Losers of 5 straight.
So many different reasons teams hit the losing skids, but the best way out of it, something has to happen positive early in the game.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Vikings, things haven't gone exactly according to plan to this point, but boy, you and I down there with them before the game, they were fired up.
And they understand how important this game is. Win this one, they can start to think about a turnaround.
The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This one taken from the 7th. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. They'll be led out by the veteran quarterback out of Michigan State. The former Spartan, it's Kirk Cousins.
Forget the measurables. His temperament, which is so even-keeled, often masks a burning desire to win and perform. This guy takes it seriously when he lines up to play, and usually he puts on a nice performance.
A first down throw for Cousins. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. The numbers for Diggs from a week ago: 6 catches, 75 yards, and a touchdown.
And he was able to pull that last pass in, but he's going to face a tall order here because he's going up against the number 2 unit in the NFL against the pass.
Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
On 2nd down now, it's Cook. I was pretty surprised there when they lined up to run it on 2nd and long, but it worked out for them.
It certainly did, and that requires some confidence, some fortitude, and a little bit of hope, doesn't it? You hope you catch the defense just right and break off a big run to help yourself out on the next down.
And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Another good completion on the drive as the Vikings have a first down.
I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double-team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Cousins gives way to Cook. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. And the offensive starters for the Vikings.
It's been quite the evolution for Stephon Diggs because when he came out of high school, many thought he was the top prospect going into college football. Didn't have quite the career that was expected and actually got drafted lower than what many people thought. But boy, is he playing to a top level now while he's in Minnesota.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Cousins. And this is Latimer, complete. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. They find themselves just a couple of spots outside of the top 10 defending the pass, number 12 in the league.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top 5.
And that is caught. Oh, what a catch at the 5-yard line. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen, his first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. Now, this is a crew, they've come out flat their last 2 games, both losses, but just judging by the energy level, they look different here early, and that touchdown shows how.
Yeah, it seems to me that touchdown gets them off the treadmill. Because, you've been on the treadmill. I've seen you work out. You go forever and ever, and it tells you you've gone somewhere, but you really have. You're in the same spot. They've exchanged it for an escalator. Still got some hills to climb, but they can get there.
These are good analogies. I run outside sometimes, though. Get some fresh air, a little sun on your face.
A little wind in there.
Yeah, that's right. Extra point up and good by Tavecchio. And it's now a 7-0 game. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And a glance here at the man calling the plays under center, their 6'4" quarterback.
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who have helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that's what good leadership gives you. At the end of the season, because you've done a great job, QB, he's usually the guy who springs for the good stuff.
He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23. And we roll now on the graphics for the offensive starters.
Let's take a look at the left tackle, Taylor Lewan. A big, gregarious guy with great athletic ability. Plays the game with a little bit of an edge. In fact, he doesn't play to the whistle. He plays to the echo of the whistle.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Here's a 2nd and 7. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. Into this game, they're ranked number 22 in the NFL against the pass, Charles.
And since this is such a good unit of covering passes downfield, I think that last play is typical of what we might see. A lot of short passes, see if they can generate some run after the catch, but nothing doing on that one.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down.
Ready. 26, Mark. 26, ready.
Operating from the gun. Love. Got a man out of the backfield. It's Chris Thompson. And they're able to get this one across the 35. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Back to throw. Love. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they're marching off another 15 against your squad.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
Chopper.
From the gun, Love. It's brought in by Adam Humphries. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 11 more on that one, and another first down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, When you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
But now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Chances are good he's going to be a very busy guy. 2 catches already in this opening drive, and they were looking his way for a third.
I think they put this defense on notice that could be a really, really frequent combination. And tough sledding. You'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
So third down now. They need the 27-yard line for a first. Looking to throw. Love. He locates Walker, complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A gain of 19 and picking up the first. Pretty solid start for the rookie here on this first drive, Charles.
Able to have some confidence, stepping back into the pocket, move around a little bit, find open receivers, and deliver. That just means his confidence is going to continue to grow because he's getting more and more comfortable with each completed pass.
Check. Tight end right.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. That's complete. Middle of the field to Humphreys. And the Vikings pick up the football. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
And now out comes Minnesota. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
Despite some fast footwork, he still wrangled down shy of the 15. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So,
and he coughed it up. It's going the other way. And he is going to bring this back inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free, anything you can do to slow them down.
Now comes a Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. It's that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
Well, you know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's 2 different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where we're going to be and what do we need to get. And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite...
And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Adam Humphreys. His first touchdown on the year. And his guys are an extra point away from tying this thing up.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. Extra point put through by Succop, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. turning it over. The other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
They're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think it becomes...
And that's caught inside the 30. What a play that turns out to be. 36 yards. They lulled them to sleep there, so to speak. That was all set up by the running game, wasn't it?
Another example of what all offensive coordinators tell us. When the running game's operating, it really opens up the playbook, and that's when they hit them with the play action. And you can see the defenders rushing towards the line of scrimmage, then scrambling back, trying to cover. Couldn't get there in time.
Well scripted. They had the big running play, now the big passing play. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Off the play fake, Cousins. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow... incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one. Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Call it a gain of 7, and it gets them a new set of downs.
Let's go.
Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. From the red zone now, Cousins. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. These two teams all tied after 1. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Watch the screen.
To throw, Cousins. And Thielen's got it. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Vikings have taken the lead. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
So this drive spans 7 plays, and it's polished off by a Viking score. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one taken from the 7. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. And now out comes Houston. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. First play of the drive is a run with Thompson. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 15 yards on the play, 1st down.
And that was a nice, strong run by the guy they call the field general.
This time he'll look to throw to Thompson on the screen. A good pickup there on first as the screen pass gets him 8.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
On second down, it's Thompson. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll lead here to a third down.
Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
Yeah, he is marked down right about on top of that imaginary yellow line, but they say he's a bit short.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much.
And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. They only needed a few inches, and they didn't get much more than that, but by about the width of a shoelace, they convert on fourth down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Shotgun handoff to Thompson. George Iloka, the one that comes up to make the tackle.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing, and I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. Trying a little razzle-dazzle on 3rd and short. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration, now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota.
And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Cousins, wide open receiver, complete. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Now a pass hauled in downfield, and he'll finally be taken down, but he gets inside the Houston 20. A gain there of 30 big ones.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Open man here is Conklin. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal. Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. Solid job up front, really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Tavecchio good on the extra point, and that makes it a 21-10 game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. And not much. Maybe a yard up to the 29. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. On first down, Love. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 20 yards on both of those plays back-to-back there. They are moving now. It's another first down. First down now, but that clock rolling. On first and 10, Love. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. There for the sack, Everson Griffin. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. So second and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range.
You better be afraid of me. 66. Bullet ride. Squeeze, get in there.
Second and 14. Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
But no takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a third and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down. Went backwards. It's third and very long. Philip Dorsett hauls it in. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. The field goal unit's going to stay put on the sideline. They're going to go on 4th down here. They'll go with a keeper, and he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw, and this is incomplete. He was looking to get that one to Chris Thompson, but it'll be 2nd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. Back to throw. Love. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Adam Humphries in the final seconds of the first half. And his guys have made this a one-score game now.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. Suckup for the extra point. And he's got it to make this a 21-17 game. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And the result, a Houston touchdown. The lead cut to just 4 as they kick it away and turn things over to their D. Final 10 seconds of the half as they've got it 1st and 10. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things starting to get interesting in this final weekend before Thanksgiving. So let's see what's going on around the NFL. We'll get things started up at Ford Field in Detroit, where 5 quarters couldn't decide a winner. This one ends in a tie. From there, let's hop over to New England. Check out the Patriots at home in Foxborough. And they've got the lead over the visiting Arizona Cardinals. Julian Edelman, a touchdown reception. Lastly, let's get to the Windy City. See what's happening with the Bears at home at Soldier Field. And they've got the lead in their matchup with the Tampa Bay Bucks. Mitchell Trubisky's looking good. 3 touchdown passes. In the game you're watching, it's been Kirk Cousins with a hot hand in the first half. He's thrown for close to 200 yards already, and that's helped propel his guys into the lead. As we send you back to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both these offenses have been in fine form. What will the second half bring us as we are underway in quarter 3? This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. And now out comes Houston. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. On second down now, it's Thompson, and he lost the football, and the Vikings pick up the football, and his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
They'll dump it over the top to him. Cook. Well, the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have.
And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Dalvin Cook with his second touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Extra point up and good by Tavecchio. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, pump the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise it's going to be a long day for you. Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Phillip Dorsett, the intended receiver, but it's going to be second down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
Sometimes guys get locked into such a groove. What do we call it? The game slowing down. They see everything happening almost in slow motion. They see the lanes develop. I feel like he's right there.
Well, and you want this from your leader, right? With this deficit, this stage of the game, second half, no quit in him.
0.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. Make it now 3 tackles for a loss in this game, 1 for each quarter.
And for a guy who played defense in college, I can just tell you that he's feeling very satisfied right now by what he's doing. But he's elated because he knows what he's doing is helping his team win the game right now. Making some big-time plays, getting into the offense's backfield and spilling everything.
He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
Left side, it's Dorsett. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Looking to throw. Love. Over the middle, Dorsett. And down inside the 15 he goes. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. They'll try a little trickery here on the end around. I don't think anyone in the building fooled right there, as that one is going to blow up in their faces. Boy, that is a 7-yard loss. 2nd down now.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. You 60 orange.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. Well, they try to swing it on left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And Suckup will put this one right through, and that'll make this an 8-point game. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
This one fielded at the 5. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down. A CD a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but man, his first step is so quick too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
I'm going back to you.
All that practice time came to fruition on now play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that.
Touchdown, Vikings! Dalvin Cook, 50 yards. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. Go ahead and give him the hat trick. He's been in the end zone now 3 times.
You toss your fedora first, okay? You go ahead and do that. But let's be honest about it. That 3rd one, that's the most spectacular run he's had in the ballgame. It's almost as if he's been playing his own game of, can I top this? And each run has been more spectacular than the last.
Tavecchio good on the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And the passing game, I mean, look at the numbers. It's fallen off. When a team is struggling, sometimes you look at the quarterback. When the quarterback starts to struggle, who goes over and picks him up?
Yeah, that's always a big one, isn't it? Usually, there's a quarterback whisperer somewhere. And what I mean by that is, whether it's an assistant coach whether it's one of his best friends on the team, someone that can get in his ear, get with him and say, all right, my man, what do you need? What's going on here? So he's one person he can lean on.
And he fires one that's intercepted. He's picked off just shy of midfield. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. Both defenses have had their struggles, but they've been good enough to get them this lead, and another nice play there to help preserve the lead.
It's been a game of punch-counter-punch, hasn't it? All throughout. But this time, the big swing was taken, and it didn't land. Nice play by them on defense.
And now out comes Minnesota. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that the
quick strip, the ball's out. And this is picked up by the defense. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
And now out comes Houston. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
This is one of those plays that could go either way, but we've seen the influence of the college game now in the NFL, where we're seeing more and more of these plays run, and that one went for a big gain.
They'll run with Thompson, and he gets this inside the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but
and the ball comes out. Love lost it.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. A pickup of 7 there, but they'll still have 12 yards to go on 3rd down.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Vikings in possession of the football and the lead. They'll be looking to add to that total as we begin quarter number 4. Play action now. Cousins. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front.
That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen, 55 yards. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Extra point up and good by Tavecchio. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one fielded at the 5. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here.
Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field, defense.
Throwing on first down. Love. And a quick throw here that's complete. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win? And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They've got to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And they'll get him down up past the 15. It's a first down on a gain of 10. So that last play gives him a little more space now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They run it again with Cook. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. Cousins to his tight end Rudolph for a Viking first down. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish, because strategy would tell you run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
We got 4. We got 4.
On 3rd down, Cousins. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. A 3-yard loss. 4th down now.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a 3rd down stop by them.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. And after a sluggish start, he's really bounced back. The numbers bear that out.
And you're a baseball guy, partner. How many at-bats over the course of a baseball season?
Oh, boy, 4 in a game.
Yeah, about 4 in a game.
4 times 162.
350 or so, right? Sometimes it takes a while for a guy to get going. That's my point. It's not the first few carries. You don't worry about that. As they go along, get that guy lathered up, get those blocking assignments down. Those 2-yard gains turn into bigger gains as the game moves along. But that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit.
A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick, and his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
And now out comes Minnesota. Now, the previous drive they punted, but that was just the first time they've had to do so in this game.
And when they turn on the game film, the coaches will rant about this, right? They'll say, oh, God, we got to move the ball, guys. We can't punt the ball away. Well, they have to keep smiles off their faces because that's the first time in the game they've had to do so. They've moved it quite well. They'll overall be happy with what they've seen.
Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. On 2nd down, this is Madison. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. The tally there, minus 2 yards, brings up 3rd down. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down. Out there now the lefty Tavecchio for the Falcon field goal. From the right hash, it's a 46-yard attempt. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And that will extend their lead even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points. But this widens it out, as you said. And now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll take this across the 25. A couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And now out comes Houston. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, Coach, what do you want to call? He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackle. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Love. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. And here come the whistles and a timeout with 7 seconds left. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. 2nd and long. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. One final shot. They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete. They were going for a consolation TD, but it was not to be. And time has run out now on this game. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Minnesota, the win gets them a step closer to 500 at 5-6. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to the Windy City to take on the Bears. Meanwhile, for the home team here, their woes continue as the record falls now to 1-10. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Houston Texans. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.